families, it's great to be here today for Families Matter, St. Lucie Public Schools Parenting Guide. We are excited to be your hosts. My name is Rebecca Benton. I'm a life skills parent educator with Student Services.
Hi again. I'm Dejon Jackson, Family and Community Outreach Administrator on special assignment for St. Lucie Public Schools. The focus of our show today is to spotlight PBIS support at home.
The purpose of Families Matter, St. Lucie Public Schools Parenting Guide is to give parents and families information about the resources found within our local community. The resources shared could be in the form of people connected to St. Lucie Public Schools, like school counselors, district support personnel, or educators on your child's campus. Or the resources could be found on our St. Lucie Public School website. And it could be in the form of local community agencies that help your child achieve success. You play a pivotal role in the life of your child and children. And as always, our aim is to support you. We are so excited to discuss positive behavior support at home.
Yes, we are, and we have two phenomenal PBIS team leads with us today, Caroline Redding and Catherine Majorossy. They serve St. Lucie Public Schools in so many ways, in addition to leading our schools with PBIS. Both of you ladies, we're so happy to see you here today. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your roles within St. Lucie Public Schools?
Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Majorossy. I'm a school psychologist with St. Lucie County Public Schools and PBIS District Coordinator. As a school psychologist, my role is to support the whole child academically, socially, emotionally, and behaviorally. I work with students, families, and school staff to understand why behaviors happen, identify student strengths, and help teach skills like problem solving, emotional regulation, and positive decision making. I also support schools through assessments, counseling, consultation, and collaboration with families to ensure students receive the right supports to be successful. In my role as a PBIS district coordinator, I help guide schools in creating positive, predictable, and supportive environments where expectations are clear and students feel safe, connected, and ready to learn. A big part of my work is partnering with families because when school and home work together, we see the strongest outcomes for children.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Hello, good morning. My name is Caroline Redding, and I'm a behavior specialist with Student Services and one of the district PBIS coordinators. In my role, I partner with teachers and staff in schools to help them create safe, supportive, and positive learning environments across our campuses. And I do this by leading professional learning sessions and providing that individualized coaching to teachers focused on classroom and behavior management strategies. I also support our new teachers by helping them build practical tools and systems that are really focused on organized, effective classrooms where expectations are clearly taught and consistently applied. And this all aligns perfectly with PBIS. One of the tools that we use to encourage our students to follow classroom rules and behavior expectations is PBIS. Consistent implementation of PBIS at the classroom level is a first step intervention when a teacher or student is struggling with connections or dealing with misbehaviors or engaging students with the instruction and content.
Now, both these wonderful ladies work in the Division of Student Services with me, and I admire them so much. I'm so excited to talk more about PBIS and how you can utilize these resources at home. So, now let's get started. Now, we joke all the time.
Yes, we do.
The educators love acronyms, and we've thrown this one around a little bit already, right now. And so how does PBIS, what does PBIS stand for, and what does it mean?
Well, PBIS stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports. In simple terms, PBIS is a framework that schools use to teach the desired expected behaviors. So we teach what we want instead of waiting for problems to occur. And we do it just like we teach academics. And by focusing on teaching the expectations, we focus on positive behavior and responding consistently when misbehavior might occur.
Absolutely.
So what does PBIS look like in practice in school?
In practice, PBIS means students know what's expected wherever they are, classrooms, hallways, buses, the cafeteria. Schools have clear expectations set, like being respectful, responsible, and safe. Staff teach what those expectations look like, model them, and recognize students when they meet them. When challenges come up, we view them as learning opportunities and teach skills rather than just punishing behavior.
So how are these behavior expectations then taught to students?
Well, expectations are taught directly and intentionally, just like we teach an academic lesson, and teachers explain what the behaviors look like that they want. Then they practice with students. So they might role play or have them do peer modeling, and then they give feedback. And teachers review this throughout the year, especially after breaks.
Yes.
Right? Or if the routine has to change, which we know that sometimes happens as well. So when we teach those expectations to students, we're providing that systematic feedback on their behavior, especially communicating when they're acting responsibly, more than just focusing on the misbehavior.
Most definitely.
Wonderful.
And how often does this expectation review occur so that it's not just a one and done kind of thing?
All of the time. School-wide expectations aren't a one and done lesson. Schools review them daily throughout reminders, modeling, announcements, visuals, and positive feedback throughout the day. Reinforcement helps students internalize their skills over time. For example, Port St. Lucie High School plays them every day during their morning announcements. At Fairlawn, the kindergarten team has created a song that they sing every morning to review them daily.
That's important. So when you hear PBIS, the behavior part stands out. But how does PBIS support both behavior and academic learning?
Well, that's the big thing, right? When students feel safe, supported, and know what's expected of them in the classrooms, they can really focus their brain power on learning instead of trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do now? And so it reduces disruptions, it increases the engagement in the classroom, and builds those self-regulation and problem-solving skills we need in our students. And these directly support academic success.
And that's what we want with our students, having those skills, self-regulation and feeling confident. Now, you kind of touched upon this, that PBIS is just not in the classroom. So is PBIS used consistently across classrooms, hallways, all the places?
Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
all over the
On a
place.
campus?
Yes, consistency is key. Schools work hard to use the same expectations and language across all settings, just like we talked about before. Consistency helps students understand expectations no matter where they are or which adult they're with.
That's perfect and great for students. So how do schools recognize and reinforce positive behavior?
Well, they use a different methods. Each school is a little bit different, but all of them want to encourage behavior in a way that is authentic, meaningful, and motivating for students. If it's not motivating, it won't do anything, right? So we really focus on verbal praise, using that verbal reinforcement for our students. But there's other things that schools use, such as a PBIS buck or a token that they give out. There's leadership opportunities. They have access to classroom or school-wide stores. Maybe they get special privileges. And the goal is really to help our students feel good about the choices that they're making and understand why their behavior matters. A big part of the approach of PBIS is this idea of catch them being good. We want them to make a conscious effort to behave, and so we need to make a conscious effort to notice when they're doing the right things and really noticing that they're following the expectations, they're being responsible. And when we acknowledge it, we want to focus on like a 4-to-1 ratio, meaning that we catch them being good, we catch them doing the right things 4 times more than the correction that we have to give. And this really helps to strengthen their confidence, it strengthens their relationships, and it really creates a supportive environment where they feel like they can be successful.
And all of that positive praise that children hear, it becomes then what they hear when they are, sitting down for a test or doing something difficult.
Right.
So if they're hearing all these positive things, that becomes then their inner dialogue. And I think that that's like the most beautiful thing about it.
And it sticks with them as an adult.
Yes,
because I know
absolutely.
LPA, I've had some graduates of LPA that say doing right is the right thing to do because it's the right thing to do. So it sticks with.
Absolutely. So you mentioned these PBIS tokens or bucks, and I know because this was my favorite part, and I know it's probably yours too. And we've been to a few of them. Schools host
Yes.
PBIS events that capture all the hard work that students do and really celebrate their success. So we have some examples. So some different elementary schools, they hosted seasonal events like a spooky breakfast or a cookie decorating party. There was also a school-wide rock, paper, and scissor contest. Now, wait, okay, let's go.
Rock, paper, scissors, go.
Oh, okay, a tie. All right. Also, choose your own resource class day.
I like that.
I love
I
that.
like that.
At middle schools, they had pep rallies. LPA had a teacher versus student game, or just going to a school dance. At the high school level, Centennial, and I saw this. This was so cool. Students who got a ticket if they had growth on IXL, and then they got to go to like a snack station, which who doesn't love
Who
snacks?
doesn't love snacks?
Great. In Treasure Coast High School, they had gave out icy pops for attendance and performance-based. They had a winter event where students got to hang out, watch a movie, play basketball, and decorate cookies. All things. I want to go to all of those.
Absolutely. My favorite was being principal for the day. Some kids would stack tokens to be principal of the day, and it made it real easy for me on that given day. And so with that, are rewards intrinsic, where they're thinking about those internal things, the praise, the leadership roles that I talked about, as well as extrinsic with tokens and privileges?
Absolutely. We want students to feel internal pride and confidence, but external recognition, like praise or small rewards, helps build habits. We also focus more on non-consumable reinforcers versus consumable. Over time, those reinforcement supports fade as skills build, right? Each school adapts its reinforcers to fit the age of its students. For example, students might use their PBIS bucks at a classroom store. Some may earn the chance to sit with a friend at lunch at a special table, or enjoy fun privileges like using a special chair for part of the day. These options help students stay engaged and excited about making positive choices.
Absolutely. So how does PBIS align with IEP and or 504 plans?
PBIS supports all students
All
and
students,
works
of course.
alongside IEPs and 504 plans. It creates a positive foundation while allowing individualized support for students who need them. PBIS helps ensure consistency, predictability, and skill building across settings.
Oh,
That's
wonderful.
amazing.
Yes, and speaking of those different settings, how can families reinforce these PBIS expectations at home?
So families can support PBIS at home by keeping things simple, consistent, and positive. Start by setting a few clear rules and expectations, and then reinforce them regularly with praise and follow through. Having a predictable daily schedule and routines really helps them. Things like having a consistent time for homework, a consistent meal time, or consistent bedtime can help your child feel more confident and prepared for school. Another helpful strategy is to notice and acknowledge when your child is making good choices, solving a problem on their own without getting overstimulated or upset, when they manage their emotions well. Even those small moments can really impact them when they have that positive feedback on what they did well in that moment, and really can make all the difference in building those skills. Doesn't have to be complicated. We're not looking for, complicated things. It's really about being supportive, patient, and setting those clear expectations and then really with patience, sticking with it and using lots of positive communication and feedback with your children.
That's good. Good tips. Good
Yes.
information. So how do parents keep informed about PBIS expectations?
Families can learn about PBIS through school newsletters, through the school website, social media posts, events flyers, or conversations while they're on school campuses with teachers and school staff. Parents are always encouraged to ask questions and partner with schools.
Communication is key. We talk about that all the time. So how can parents use the same language at home, because we've talked about consistency, so that these expectations feel familiar?
Yes.
One thing to know is that each school in St. Lucie County has different kind of expectation acronyms. So while they're all very similar in their content, they have their own unique language. So the first thing is find out what your child's school is using. For example, Weatherby has the SAIL expectations, which is self-control, acts responsibly, is respectful, learns. Middle school, Forest Grove Bark, be prepared, act responsibly, respectful, keep safe. All of those are in there. But one thing we want to do then is connect those. So when your child shows a behavior that kind of fits with one of those broad categories, which are not always simple to learn and what they really mean, is to connect it. So when your student or your child comes home 10 minutes early for their curfew, like, wow, responsible. You just showed responsibility because you were home 10 minutes early. When they get their things packed up the night before, ready to go to school, that's being prepared to learn. Really connecting those little actions and moments you see with your student, your child at home with that school language just really helps them those things being reinforced with your child and makes it very familiar when they get on campus and gives them confidence that they're going to know what to do when they're at school.
Absolutely.
Makes it so real, and that's important. It's not just an acronym or something they hear about. It makes that connection, which is so, so key. So with that, how can we practice these skills at home before a problem comes up, before that problem arises?
That is the key, to practice during calm moments. Everyday moments before challenges come up. One simple way to do this is by talking through expectations ahead of time. For example, before you go to the store, before you start homework, you might review what it looks like being respectful, responsible, and safe. Will look like in those situations. Role playing can also be very helpful. How to ask for help, how to stay calm when you become frustrated, how to solve small problems that might arise. This gives your child a chance to try out skills in a supportive and very low pressure way. Finally, pointing out and praising positive behaviors when you see them, like using kind words, or when they follow your directions, or when they manage their emotions. It helps them. It helps that skill stick. Practicing ahead of time builds confidence, so when a challenging moment does happen and your child is better prepared to handle that situation successfully.
Now, Rebecca, I don't know about you, but I know when I was growing up, my mom would say before we would go into a store, you go in this store, don't you ask for anything, but then she also would give me what I was expected to do, because I'm going to send you to go get the milk and go get the eggs and bring them back. But the first part stuck with me, so she set those expectations right away.
I have to do that a lot before the playground. Before we go to the, if you can't see me, you're not being safe, right? So we've talked a lot about praise, which I love, but it can be, good job, can feel kind of flat and vague. So how can parents use praise but make it specific and meaningful?
So meaningful praise is tied to specific actions. It's not general, it's very specific. So we focus on the actions and not how we feel about those actions. That's a big piece there. So instead of saying good job, like you just said, try saying something like, I noticed you followed the directions the first time I gave them. You picked up your toys the first time I asked you. And so that's very important, that we're noticing the specific behavior. We want to avoid including how we feel about those behaviors, because then it makes the praise about us
Right.
instead of about what they did. And just as a note, when we tell them what they did right, that's what they're likely to remember and do that again, because they know that's what got them the praise and increases the likelihood they're going to do it again.
I love that. So how do we reinforce effort and progress, not just perfect behavior,
Yeah.
because perfection is overrated?
We're not for
Focus
perfection.
on celebrating growth, not just perfect outcomes. This means recognizing and praising effort, like trying again, staying with the challenge, calming down more quickly, or asking for help. By focusing on the process rather than just the result, we can show children it's okay to make mistakes and that learning takes time. Highlighting effort and progress helps build confidence, resilience, and willingness to take on new challenges. When adults consistently notice and acknowledge small steps to move forward, children learn that improvement matters. This encourages them to keep trying and support steady growth over time.
I love that.
Me too.
So how can we avoid power struggles at home while still holding on to those boundaries?
Oh, I love that word.
Boundaries.
Stay calm. Offer choices when they are possible. Stick to 2 choices and be consistent, right? Clear boundaries paired with empathy help reduce power struggles and build trust over time.
I love that.
Awesome. So, what PBIS strategies can be used at home when behavior expectations aren't being met? That's a big one.
That's a huge one.
It is, right? Well, first of all, again, stay calm.
Yes, always
Stay calm.
try. Do your best.
We should build a kind of small repertoire of consistent responses that we use, and use them, again, predictably. So when you, like being a slot machine actually, or I'm sorry, soda machine, when I put my dollar in, this is what I get. When I do this behavior, this is going to be mom's response. And so it's very predictable responses to what our child is doing. Emotional responses don't work, so use them very sparingly. One of the things, two things that I really kind of focus on, especially when I'm working with teachers, but they work as a parent, I know I had to use them, was one-liners. So one sentence correction. It focuses on the to-do. I want my child to know the to-do. Let's not have a conversation about what you did wrong. Let's focus on what we need to do. So thing like, the rule is, you have to be able to see mommy at the park. Take care of it, right? And it puts the responsibility back on them to avoid a power struggle. The second one is grandma's law. I know when I went to my grandma's house, first you had to eat dinner, then you got dessert. So really, it's if we have promised our child, okay, when we go to the store, you can get one little thing. If we give it to them before they've done all the other expectations, we're going to fight.
They're not going to do that.
We're not going to do
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah. So what simple routines or visual supports, because we talked a lot about verbal, can be used at home so that this transfers to home?
Visual schedules, checklists, timers, and structured routines can help make expectations clear, reduce stress for children of all ages. Use pictures if your child can't read yet. Allow your child to check off or receive a token when they complete a chore, and then celebrate with a high five or that verbal praise.
That's amazing. So we've given a lot of things for parents to think about. One of the things that gets me every time is
Oh, it does. Me
transitions,
too.
right? So transitions can be difficult for children of all ages, including adults, right? So how do we support transitions, bedtime, homework, leaving the house? How can we do that?
Give warnings. Go back to using those visual schedules, verbal countdowns. Keep routines predictable, right? And praise success during those transitions. Transitions will get easier with practice and consistency. Focus on what your child gets right. Give feedback of how they can be successful in areas they need to work on.
Oh,
Good
I
to
love
know.
that. We want families to remember that PBIS at home is not about charts, stickers, or perfection. It's about clear expectations, practice, patience, predictable responses, and building skills over time. You got this.
Yes.
So we're so thankful for both of you for being with us today. You've shared so much information for our families. And as always, the information shared in today's show will be shared on our St. Lucie Public School website. I say it every time. We've gone over time in today's show, and it's been just such a great show. We hope you've learned more about PBIS support at home. And if you ever find yourself in need of more help, please reach out. Our aim is to be the guide on the side for the many resources found within our community.
Once again, we have had a great show. We want to say a very special thank you to our experts, our resident experts, Caroline and Catherine. Thank you so much. And if you have missed any of our shows, please tune in to the WLX Horizon app to watch it, catch up, and feel connected. Check out St. Lucie Public Schools' social media outlets and our homepage for our next show. Next month, we are dedicating our show to more summer supports at home. Can you believe it?
I
It's
know.
summer already.
No, I can't.
Remember, all families matter in St. Lucie Public Schools.